Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video today. It's one I normally wouldn't do, but I received a special request to make this video, so I thought, you know what, let's give this a try, let's see what happens. Uh, with regards to what I am ranking, as you can see, I'm going to be ranking all of the bosses from Luigi's Mansion 3. And in case you haven't seen already, I did recently just finish my Luigi's Mansion 3 playthrough. The playlist is available on my channel if you're interested. And I don't have all of the bosses in this. I focused on just the single player bosses in the game. I know there's the Boolossus boss on the online multiplayer Scare Scraper mode, but I never played the online mode, and I honestly don't plan on doing it, so I did not include Boolossus, but I believe I have everyone else. So let's get started. I'm gonna try and do this in order, but uh, who am I kidding? I'm probably gonna end up doing this out of order. So the first boss in the game, as you can see right here, is the luggage carrying boss. It's when Luigi first discovers that the hotel staff was being run by ghosts. And overall, it's not an exciting boss, but it was a good warm-up boss to get back into the game, because the time between Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3 was, I don't know off the top of my head, but it was many years. Let's say many years. So, I'm gonna say I understood its purpose. And this middle tier here, it's my nice way of saying it's I don't hate the boss, but I don't love it. It was just okay, and hence the reason I understood its purpose. The next boss, we will do the Paul Blart mall cop ghost, whatever you want to call him. I had the list of the names too, and of course I lost the list, but we'll just keep going. The Paul Blart mall cop ghost was one of my favorites. I loved his personality. He was literally like Paul Blart. If you haven't seen the movie, he's this ghost that tries to act tough, but when real danger hits the fan, he sort of can't really handle the pressure. And it was a creative way, because the only way to defeat the ghost was by using Luigi. And after practicing Luigi with the puzzles, it was sort of a nice little introduction, basically. So I'm gonna put him as one of my favorites. The next boss, I believe, was Chef Souffle. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was Chef Souffle. I do know that name, at least. This boss... I mean, I liked his personality when you first suck up all the smoke from his cooking. He gives you that look like, what are you doing? I can't say I hated him. I know, this one's tough. I can't say I understood its purpose in the game. I can't say it was one of my favorites. Oh, should I have added another tier? Okay, after some deliberation, I've decided I'm gonna put Chef Souffle as one of my favorites. I know this was the first boss that I got a game over on, though. Brought back some stressful memories at the moment, but at the end of the day, I like having challenging bosses, forcing myself to figure out how to defeat it, and this was the first challenge I got in the game, so it's a boss I can respect. I don't love the boss, but it was one of my favorites because I can respect the challenge. Up next, I think it was the Mozart boss, and I can't say I hated him. It was the first music-related boss. It was a simple boss, and it really taught you how to use the suction cup because after you threw the bomb in, the piano turned sideways, and the only way to slam it down was by using the suction cup. So I'd have to say I understood its purpose. I liked the boss. I can't say he was one of my favorites though. Uh, Up next, I think it was the king. Uh, the king, I honestly have to say that I did not like. And again, this was another boss that I got a game over on, but thankfully I had one of the dog bones. And yeah, I liked the environment, I liked the fake crowd, I liked the fact that when Luigi smashed him around, the crowd was booing, but it was, it was a bit of an annoying boss, in my opinion, at least, because the only way, you only had like a short window to stun the ghost, and the only way to stun him at the time was mid-charge, right when he was about to pierce you with the lance. It was a little controversial, I'd have to say. I mean, I don't completely hate him, but he wasn't one of my favorites. I'll put it that way. I believe the next boss was the gardener with the plant. And with him, I'd have to say I understood its purpose. Because it taught you, well, before the boss battle, it taught you how to use the chainsaw item in one of the rooms. And in order to defeat the boss, you had to saw the Venus flytrap ghost monster in half, so that way you could get to the gardener ghost, because that Venus flytrap was basically his protection. He wasn't... I mean, his personality... It was a simple gardener personality. He wasn't overly aggressive, overly entertaining, I guess, but I like him. I don't love him. He goes right in the middle tier in my book. Let's just get Morty right off the bat. Morty was one of my favorites. He played to my heartstrings with the sympathy card. He was just an aspiring director that was just felt like he was going nowhere with his movie career, I guess. That's the best way to put it. You don't technically fight Morty, though. If you haven't played the game before, you technically fight this Godzilla monster ghost while Morty is filming. And if I never learned the fact that you had the choice of sucking up Morty or not, I wonder what would have happened. That was the one spoiler that I got during my playthrough of this game. I learned my lesson. I should never look on the internet while I'm, especially while doing a playthrough. But Morty, I have nothing bad to say about him. He was just trying to regain his confidence, trying to be a movie director, and I was able to play a part of it by not sucking him up, and I got rewarded with that special film from the final episode, in case you haven't seen. And, alright, let's do the Polterkitty next. So the Polterkitty, I guess you could say, was a two-part boss, technically speaking, and the Polterkitty was one of my favorites. I loved the tension it brought. I loved how the Polterkitty puzzles made you think, especially the meeting Polterkitty for the first time back at Morty's movie set. You had to get creative, having Luigi stand in one spot while Luigi lures the cat out to its little hiding spot underneath the bench. It brought out a creative challenge, and once you see Polterkitty's true form turning into a monster, that was where the fun really began, because you had to play this little cat and mouse game. You had to have your back turned to Polterkitty, and you had to wait until the right moment when it looked like it was about to claw you, and that's when you flashed it. that little tension watching Polterkitty just slowly creep in. I loved it. As as anxiety inducing as it was when I first experienced it, I ended up loving it. Um let's save Helen Gravely for later. Oh, the maid ghost. This was one of the first bosses as well. I think it was after the luggage ghost. This one, I understood its purpose. Again, it's not a overly complicated boss, and it wasn't overly entertaining in the slightest, but this is where they first taught you really what the suction cup grapple attack was about, because that was the only way to get the luggage out of the maid ghost, was to suction cup it, and then you would be able to capture her afterwards. Let's do... Oh, the dinosaur. So the dinosaur is technically a two-part boss battle. Once you defeat the possessed T-Rex skeleton, you see the caveman ghost, and if I remember right, his name, excuse me, his name was Ugg. And this one was one of my favorites. The intro alone was one of my favorites. Slowly walking into the dinosaur exhibit, and after every thunderbolt, you could see the not just the T-Rex, all of the dinosaurs were changing their positions, and then as you're about to walk in, the T-Rex looks down menacingly at you. That was an awesome intro. Actually, that's probably my favorite intro to all these bosses, besides King Boo, but we'll get to King Boo later. Up next, we have we'll go to the mechanic. The mechanic that I absolutely hate. He is going to the bottom of the list. This was my least favorite boss in this game. Oh, the rage it brought me. I mean, his personality was very fitting, being the troll that he is, but the controls to the boss battle were very frustrating to me. Trying to steer the duck boat, the fact that you have to use the vacuum suction to pull forward, and then the blower to blow back, and then if you got too close to the spikes, you got flung out of the arena, and then on top of it, he flings mines at you too. And in case you didn't see my video of this annoying boss, not only did I pop my little pool floaty during the fight, he threw a mine too that hit me, and I got dealt about 30 damage. And it made me rage quit too, even though I didn't like scream or anything. I just threw my controller and walked away. Yeah, that mechanic ghost in the boiler room will not be missed. Up next, let us... we will do the Cleopatra ghost. The Cleopatra's puzzle leading up to her was good. It was creative and I liked it. But as for Cleopatra... I can't really say I understood its purpose in the game. I mean, she fit the theme of the Egyptian room we were in. I mean, I get that, but as to its purpose in the game, I mean, it taught me to suck up the sand to remove the protection, the sand protection on her face. But I mean, I already knew how to suck up the sand. I'm gonna have to say I don't really like Cleopatra. I mean, she wasn't a difficult boss or anything, but it was a creative boss, I'll say that, but I can't really say I connected to Cleopatra, the boss, that well. Up next, let us pick, oh yes, the the three magician sisters. It was exactly as I predicted. I remember thinking that the three magicians were gonna make me play a game in the boss battle, and I turned out to be right. So, I mean, the boss was predictable, but I still liked it. Uh, I understood its purpose. I can't really. I liked it. I can't say it was one of my favorites, but I liked the mind games it played. It did get a little frustrating when I kept guessing the wrong magician hat to pull. I kept pulling out the bombs. So yeah, that part wasn't fun, but otherwise it was a fun boss battle, but I can't say it was one of my favorites. Let us go to the... Let's go to the shark next. The shark... I remember thinking it wasn't so intimidating at first, but it really did put up a decent fight. My favorite part was actually in the second half of the fight when it took over the wall of the ship and then actually tipped me to the side. So you had to suction cup. There was a little board that you could suction cup to hang on so you didn't fall into the mouth of the shark wall, but I didn't realize it in time. Oh, this one's tough. I'm sort of torn between being my favorite and I understood its purpose. Oh man. I liked it. I don't think I can say I loved it. I'll have to say I understood its purpose in the game. I mean, that's gonna kill me. I'm probably gonna end up regret saying that. I mean, I did like the boss battle. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. The next boss, we will do the water polo captain. And, it was surprisingly easy. The hardest part of this boss was trying to figure out how to drain the water. And, well, I didn't really figure out at first the fact that you had to drain the water. I had to have the Polterpup and EGAD sort of nudge me in the right direction to figure it out. And I eventually did figure it out. And then the second half, once you drain the water, was a bit too easy, in my opinion. All you had to do was fling volleyball at the gym lunk, as I call him. Suck up the goggles from his face, flash him, suck him up. It was a little bit too easy once you figure out what to do. So I feel like hate is a strong word, but I didn't really like it that much. Yeah. I'll leave it at hate, even though I don't technically hate it. I should have made a tier that says did not like, but we're gonna keep going. As for the dance troupe boss, this one was obviously one of my favorites. I made that especially clear in the final episode of my playthrough. I'm a sucker for the music-themed bosses, and yes, I know. Why would I put Mozart in the middle tier? Because it was also a music-related boss. The dance troupe ghost with the DJ was a better music-related boss battle, to me at least, because, well, it was two separate challenges. You had to figure out which member of the Jabberwocky dance crew was holding onto the elevator button, and then once you sort of trimmed down the competition, the DJ would come out, and the DJ was a little bit different. You had to run around her records and then use the L and R button again, and the music to the boss battle as well. That was one of my favorite soundtracks personally, so that's why the dance crew is on my favorites and why Mozart is middle tier. So that leaves us the final two bosses in the game. The first one being Helen Gravely. And I'd have to say, between Helen Gravely and King Boo, believe it or not, I actually liked Helen Gravely's boss battle more than King Boo. With Helen Gravely, you actually had to do a lot of multitasking. It was sort of like a two-layered battle. I've never experienced a boss battle like that before, playing any game for that matter. Not only did you have to protect Luigi from the lasers and the security system on the top floor, you had to put Gooigi on the bottom half of the floor to run around and try and shut off all the lasers to help Luigi suck up Helen Gravely. And I just loved the idea behind the boss battle, having a lot of multitasking, sometimes fast-paced multitasking for that matter. My only criticism, really, was when the security system had two laser walls fully rotating, and Luigi could not stop. There was no way for Luigi to avoid it. You were going to get hit. So that had me worried during the fight, but I was able to defeat Helen Gravely. As for King Boo looked amazing. First off, I thought the most visually amazing looking boss out of this whole roster, really. The experience with it was sort of like another guessing game. Well, not at first. You had to shoot the bomb at King Boo, and once you did, King Boo would split into two. You had to figure out which one was the right King Boo, shoot another bomb at it, and then that's when the tension really started to kick in, because you had 4 minutes to find the third stage of the real King Boo when King Boo splits into three. I mean, it wasn't overly difficult. It felt, like I said in my video, it sort of felt like a Mario Party related minigame when he did the lightning attacks and the lava ball attacks. They were, I don't want to say too simple. It was fitting for King Boo, but I don't know what word I would use to describe it. If the best way I can explain it, it just felt too much like a Mario Party minigame and not like a actual boss. But I did like the guessing game part, trying to figure out which King Boo was the real one. Another comment I got, turns out the real King Boo had 4 teeth, and the fake King Boos had 2 teeth. I had no idea. I was literally taking a guess as I was doing the video. So, King Boo, I liked him. I can't say he was one of my favorites, but I don't hate I didn't hate the King Boo boss battle. I understood its purpose, and obviously it was to wrap up the story in a nice big bow, but by far the best visually looking boss in the game. So, this is my final results for ranking every Luigi's Mansion 3 boss other than Boolossa's. So I have 7 bosses here as my favorites, and another 7 in the middle tier. I liked them, I didn't love them, I understood their purpose in the game, and these are the 4 that I hated. Except I don't technically hate the Gymlunk. I should have added a tier that says didn't like, but that's okay. That is gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, because this is the first time I ever made a tier video, for that matter. Not just for YouTube, but really in general. So yeah, that's gonna do it, and have a good one, guys.